Tools where math is made easy. In our session today, we are converting a decimal number in the tens place into an improper fraction. So if you're ready, let's get started. In our example today, we're going to begin by converting our decimal number 3 1/10 into an improper fraction. Now in this video, we're not going through the same steps that we did with the mixed fraction. So if you haven't seen how to convert your decimal number into a mixed fraction, make sure that you go back and review those videos, because we will not be going through those steps today. Instead, we will be going straight into changing our decimal number into a mixed fraction and then changing it into an improper fraction. So if you need to catch up before beginning this video, make sure that you do that. So we're going to begin by first changing our decimal number 3 1/10 into its fraction form. And as a fraction, this will be 3 1/10 as a fractional number. So now we're going to change this into an improper fraction by going through our steps where we multiply our denominator times our whole number and then add their product to our numerator, and this will all remain over the same denominator. So 10 times 3 is equal to 30, and 30 plus 1 is equal to 31 tenths. So my decimal number 3 1/10 as an improper fraction is 31 tenths. Okay, so let's try another example. Feel free at this point to pause the video, convert your decimal number into an improper fraction, and when you're ready, you can unpause the video and work along with me. Okay, so we're going to begin by first changing our decimal number into its mixed fraction form, which is 8 5/10. And now we're going to, you can either take two approaches for this step. You can decide whether you want to reduce your fraction now, and I'm going to reduce my fraction now, and then we're going to go through the steps separately on the side on how we could just take this fraction, change it into its improper form, and then reduce the fraction afterwards. So you can do either step, and either way you will still end up with the same answer, providing that you did your reducing correctly. Okay, so let's go through that step. I'm going to reduce my fraction first, and then I'm going to change it into a mixed fraction. Let's reduce our fraction. We can divide both parts of our fraction by 5, and 5 divided by 5 will equal to 1. 10 divided by 5 will equal to 2. And the important thing I want you to remember, after reducing your fraction, you must always put the whole number back. So our whole number doesn't change, and that remains a part of our fraction. So my fraction 8 5/10 in its simplest form is 8 1/2. Okay, so now that we've reduced this fraction to its simplest form, let's begin converting it to an improper fraction. And remember that to convert it to an improper fraction, my denominator will be multiplied to my whole number and then their product added to the numerator, all over the exact same denominator of 2. So we know that 2 times 8 is equal to 16. 16 plus 1 will equal to 17 halves. So my decimal number 8 5/10 as an improper fraction is 17 halves. Okay, so this is when we reduce our fraction first. Now remember that we can take that exact same fraction, which is 8 5/10, and if you don't want to go to the reducing stage first, you prefer to just change it to a mixed fraction, change it to an improper fraction, pardon me, and then reduce it afterwards, that is completely fine. As long as the number is worked out correctly, you will still arrive at the exact same answer. So again, we're going to be multiplying our denominator times a whole number and adding their product to the numerator, and this will remain over the same denominator. So 8 times 10 is 80, and we're going to be adding our 80 to 5, which will equal to 85 tenths. So now that we have reduced our fraction, it is not in its simplest form, so we're going to find the highest common factor that we can divide both 85 and 10 by. Both 85 and 10 can be reduced by dividing by 5. So 85 divided by 5 will equal to 17, and 10 divided by 5 will equal to 2. Okay, so there you have it. That is 2 different methods that you can use to convert your decimal number that can be reduced into its improper form. Well, I hope this was easy for you to follow, and I hope that you watched the other video on how you can convert your decimal number into its mixed fraction form. And even with that, that's additional practice as well. So when you're ready, we'll be right here in the next video. This is Jules Math Tools, where we make math easy.